Danny Franz, and I'm on staff at Vineyard Columbus in Westerville. And today I'm here to represent Interfaith Power and Light, a group of varying faith traditions that have come together to turn the tide in the religious community in response to climate change. It's an honor and a privilege to be here on the 40th anniversary of Earth Day. And when we think about how to approach climate change and creation care from a faith perspective, there's two questions we have to ask ourselves from all of our religious traditions. Because all of our religious traditions have an element, a component, a central component to take care of this earth and God's creation. The first question is this our planet or is it God's? And the answer to that question wrongly has been that this is our planet to use and have rule over and clearly affect negatively. And when we think about all of the things that we as humans with our carbon footprint and all the science that has come out of the last 50 years to show and to say that clearly we have an effect on our surroundings and we have a responsibility to respond in kind in our faith traditions to do so. When we look in the book of Genesis, we see in the end God saying to the man and woman to take care of the creation, to be good stewards. And up to this point, our religious traditions have been mostly silent on the aspect of stewardship. Well, for our planet to get back on track, that has to change. The second question is, are we our brother and sister's keeper? And the answer to that in all of our faith traditions is yes. And when we think about climate change and the effect that it has on people and our environment, it's the poor and the most marginalized and the most vulnerable that are affected first. We've seen it. We've seen it in earthquakes in Chile. We've seen it in earthquakes in China, tsunamis, hurricanes. Those will not go away. They'll increase in severity. And it's always the most poor and vulnerable that are hit first, those who cannot take care of themselves. So in our faith traditions, from a religious standpoint, we have a moral imperative to not just talk about being our brother and sister's keeper, to not just think about taking care of each other and our planet, but in order for us to be here and sustain ourselves as a species and as people who worship God and move forward to take care of our brothers and sisters, there's nothing more important that we can do than to get behind the climate change legislation and to impact those around us in a social justice component to not only change our own lives, but to change the lives of the people that we impact. So thank you for this time, and God bless you.
Well, you know, it's good to be here on this 40th year of the Earth Day. You know, my name's Todd Stapleton, and I represent the NAACP Columbus branch. You know, and we at the Columbus branch of the NAACP, we stand behind the Clean Earth campaign because, you know, and we also stand behind UAW because, you know, good jobs are worth fighting for. You know, we need to keep our jobs in Ohio, you know, and because with the economic statutes today, you know, we need to worry about our own and not everybody else. Thank you.
Hi, and my name is Jason Salscaber, and I am a project developer for Third Sun Solar and Wind. Thanks for the opportunity for me to be here, and it's great. 40th anniversary of Earth Day. That's fantastic. You know, Third Sun has an extensive client list, and we're moving forward into, you know, the new time in which solar and renewable wind and all sources of renewable energy are becoming more and more relevant with better incentives, both state and federal, and any types of those policies moving further into the future, we are certainly in support of. You know, we're proud to attend this event and certainly to contribute to Ohio's growing clean energy economy that reduces our overall carbon footprint and increasingly creates more jobs in Ohio, right? So that's great. Thank you. And I won't get into the technical issues of the solar panel I have over here, otherwise we might be here all afternoon. So don't hesitate to ask me any questions in the next hour. Thanks.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Cena with the Ohio Public Health Association. And I appreciate the opportunity, Tracy, for being able to come and speak today. Obviously, there's a growing body of evidence that suggests climate change and the environment has an intimate link to a person's health. And it's something we're seeing more and more research on each day. But I think I'm going to defer to someone else who has written on this topic already to give you an example of where this interfaces with the short amount of time I have. Writing for the American Public Health Association, Caitlin Sheedy actually explained it best. She said that most Americans will never see a melting polar ice cap, nor will they, in all likelihood, ever meet an endangered species. However, most of us will probably be without power during a snowstorm. There is a good chance that some of us will be without clean drinking water after a flood. There is a chance we will know or be someone affected by a poor air quality day, like we have so often in Ohio. We'll see a loved one struggling to breathe who has asthma. And as we look across the state of Ohio, we see the increasing rates of asthma among all our children. We have actually, all of us probably at some point, been affected by a heat wave in the middle of summer. There's nothing worse than that July day where it's over 90 degrees, and tomorrow it will be over 90 degrees, and the day before yesterday it was 90 degrees, and there's no relief in the evening because the temperature doesn't go down. And the problem with that is that CDC has already identified heat waves as the #1 cause of death from an environment-related issue. It causes more deaths than a hurricane, a tornado, more deaths than floods or earthquakes all combined. So next year and last year and this year, more people will die from a heat wave than have died from those events.